The population of Texas has increased dramatically over the last 25 years, and the growth is anticipated to continue over the next 25, increasing the demands on our transportation system. Texas Department of Transportation, TxDOT, is developing a blueprint to address the state's future transportation needs. That blueprint is also necessary for our federal transportation funding. TxDOT's goal is to develop a long-range, multimodal statewide plan. This plan will address all users of the system, whether they walk, bicycle, ride transit, train or bus, fly, or drive a car. The entire Texas economy depends on transportation, and TxDOT views all travel modes as one integrated and interconnected system. Over the past 6 months, TxDOT has been analyzing transportation changes that have taken place over the last 20 years. Based on that information, we've forecasted the anticipated changes for the coming 25 years. Here is what we have found. This map illustrates the state's population growth from the year 1950 through today. By year 2040, the state is expected to add at least 10 million more people in population. Population growth leads to changes in population densities, land use, and employment. These changes impact how we live, work, even our commercial and personal travel needs. Most of the growth in Texas is expected in large metropolitan cities and their suburban counties. Other smaller and medium-sized cities will also grow. Whether large or small, the need to move people and goods will increase as the population booms. Historically, the growth in auto usage has surpassed the growth in population. Auto usage is measured in vehicle miles traveled, or VMT. Daily auto VMT is expected to grow by 66%, while the population is estimated to grow by 43%. One reason for this difference is that more Texans have to drive farther as our urban areas increase in size. But passenger cars aren't the only vehicles on our roads. Trucks bring goods to our cities, transport agricultural products, raw materials, and finished products all across the state. And a growing Texas economy drives truck transportation growth. Known as a crossroads for the United States, Texas represents the main trade region with Mexico, the third largest trading partner with the U.S. Truck VMT is expected to grow 123% in the next 25 years compared to the levels recorded in 2008. The metropolitan areas of Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, El Paso, and the cities of the lower Rio Grande Valley are rapidly expanding and getting denser, as are the suburban counties that surround them. Between the years 2010 and 2035, over 8 million people will be added to these cities and their suburban counties. This represents 82% of the expected growth in the state. The metropolitan transportation plans in these areas are calling for improvements in their high-capacity corridors. On freeways, planned improvements include high-occupancy vehicle lanes. Some of these will be managed during peak hours using tolls. Texas cities are aggressively pursuing transit solutions. One idea is for bus rapid transit corridors. These would be achieved with exclusive guideways and HOV lanes or through coordinated signal timing. And urban rail lines have been built in 3 regions: Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, and Austin, providing an alternative to congested highway travel. Expanded arterial street systems can also improve safety and convenience for Texas suburbanites. In addition, the number of bicycle users and pedestrians are sure to increase over the next 20 years. As urban development continues and facilities are provided, bicycling for non-recreational activities could become a viable transportation choice. An exciting trend in transportation planning is the growth in how we manage our demands on the transportation system. One cost-effective way to reduce the need for expensive transportation investments is to simply reduce the pressure we put on them. Texans will become more tuned in to alternatives such as telecommuting, compressed work weeks, carpooling, or using more transit services. Trip coordination, trip planning, and employer acceptance can have a dramatic effect on how we use our transportation system. Better management of our travel demands can help Texans get the most from its existing transportation investment. Our large cities and metropolitan areas are already benefiting from technology that provides real-time information on transportation. Traffic cameras play a vital role in informing the public about roadway conditions through many media outlets. Traffic management centers are now coordinated response teams, improving safety and responding to incidents in a highly coordinated way. The advent of GPS navigation and other high-tech location systems enable each traveler to make the most efficient choices about when, where, and how to travel. While large metropolitan areas have pressing transportation needs, there's a statewide system that also requires attention. Texas is a diverse state, geographically, economically, and demographically. The Texas roadway system is made up of more than 300,000 miles of state, county, and city roads and highways. Over 675 million miles are driven on this system each day, and that number is expected to get larger. By year 2035, Texans are expected to drive more than 1.1 billion vehicle miles on our state's roads. Most of the miles of Texas roadways serve as connectors between large and small cities and rural areas. Every person in Texas depends on this system. In fact, most of the resources consumed in large metropolitan urban areas, where most Texans live, come from somewhere else. These goods get there on Texas roads and railroads. By year 2035, the total truck and rail freight tonnage transported in and across Texas is expected to grow by 78%, and 51% of that tonnage will cross state lines. Texas ports play a vital role along the U.S. Gulf Coast. Over 357 million tons of cargo were shipped to and from Houston, Beaumont, Corpus Christi, and other Texas ports in 2008. Tonnage shipped from these ports is expected to swell by 46% by 2035. And the impact of the Panama Canal expansion project has still yet to be firmly determined. Additionally, products are shipped along the Texas coastline through the Gulf Intracoastal Waterway. In 2007, this system was officially designated as a vital part of the U.S. Department of Transportation's Marine Highway Program. Another integral piece of this vast Texas transportation system is our airports. Air service in Texas is made up of 265 general aviation airports and 27 commercial airports. By year 2035, general aviation in Texas is expected to grow by 30%, while commercial operations are expected to grow by 48% and carry more than 137 million passengers a year. Both Dallas and Houston serve the country as vital southern hubs, and Texas's large urban areas provide a huge market for air travel. The Statewide Long-Range Transportation Plan has analyzed each mode of transportation carefully and objectively. Population growth has been monitored, forecasts have been made, and needs have been evaluated. There are solutions to the state's long-range transportation needs, and all Texans need to be engaged in getting to those solutions. Transportation funding is at a crisis point. There are many reasons for the lack of funding, most notably a gas tax that hasn't changed in years, decreasing revenue due to more fuel-efficient vehicles, and increasing construction and maintenance costs. Add inflation to the mix, and things get even tougher. But the problem is clear. Our state's demand for mobility is outpacing the available resources. This has resulted in TxDOT considering the prioritization of maintenance funds to more heavily traveled roads. Texas will have to look for new ways to meet the state's growing transportation needs. Some of the options include maintaining the status quo, which will impact funding for all transportation modes. Maximize present funding sources like the gas tax. Develop new sources of funding like a vehicle miles travel tax. Consider other possibilities such as public-private financing. While final decisions are up to the Texas Legislature and Congress, these and other funding options are a part of the planning landscape. We would like your input on the plan. TxDOT has a project webpage for the plan on its website, www.txdot.gov, keyword Transportation Plan 2035. That will link you to information about the planning process. There you will find information on the plan and a draft copy. When the final report is complete, it will be posted there as well. You can submit your comments on the website. You can also leave your comments on the toll-free number 888-589-7526 or mail your comments to Peggy Thurin, Statewide Transportation Plan, 4544 Post Oak Place, number 224, Houston, Texas 77027. A final public hearing will be held in Austin on October 1st, 2010, and public comments will be accepted for 30 days. Texans will continue to expect high-quality transportation choices. Your input is important to us as we develop the plan that will guide us into the future.